How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with The Movie Castle, and today we're going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a bit, and that's we're going to talk about good horror movies with bad endings. It's something I've been thinking about talking to people, both in the comments section and in real life, about various horror movies and how they pan out, and today we're going to be talking about 5 of these movies, but I could probably easily pick out another 5 if I look through my collection. So there might be a volume 2, and also if you guys have any suggestions, I'd be happy to listen, and I might borrow some of them for volume 2 as well. Now, that being said, this is all a matter of opinion, so if you guys like the endings to some of these horror movies, feel free to tell me in the comments and explain your point of view, and I'd be happy to listen. That being said, please keep things civil, and also, quite obviously, since we are talking about endings, this will have spoilers in it, so if you haven't seen one of these movies and don't want it spoiled, just scrub through the video until I'm holding up a different movie. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in, and first off, we have Stephen King's The Mist, written for the screen and directed by Frank Darabont there, in this really nice, shiny slipcover there. This movie is a pretty good movie for most of it until the end. You see a mist descends upon this small town, and there's some creepy Lovecraftian creatures inside the mist, and there's a group of strangers all stuck in a supermarket, and will they work together or fight with each other? It's very similar to a zombie movie, but without the zombies, and instead a mist full of strange monsters of various shapes and sizes. All in all, there's a lot to like in here, but the ending of it, the end, like I said earlier, spoilers, a group of people make it out of the supermarket and into a Jeep. They survive, which I think is actually where King's novella ends. But in the movie, they drive the Jeep and they don't get out of the mist. They keep going, there's more mist. They run out of gas and decide, hey, let's just freaking kill ourselves. Which comes out of nowhere. And I mean nowhere. There's been no previous inclinations that this might be what the group thinks like. You don't get the sense that these are people who are about to kill themselves. And on top of that, the reason for doing it, just because they ran out of gas? I mean, it's not like they had been beaten up by the monsters and were dying of their injuries. It's not like they were starving to death. It's not like there were a bunch of monsters pounding on their window at that moment with no chance to escape. They ran out of gas, and instead of going to a different vehicle or finding more gas, they just decide to kill themselves, which is really out of the blue and really poor reasoning behind it. To make matters worse, though, the guy, the main character, shoots everybody, including his own son, who is very, very young, and on top of that, he doesn't die because he ran out of bullets, and as soon as he doesn't die, he gets out of the car and finds that the military was literally 2 seconds away, and everybody is saved, and the movie's over. So he killed them all, but not just that, he killed them all for no reason, because the military was almost there to save them all. It comes out of nowhere, it feels out of character, it wasn't warranted, because all that happened was they ran out of gas. It's just a bad ending, and I know some people like it, but really, I didn't. It kind of ruins it for me. Up next, this is probably the one that inspired me to make the list, April Fool's Day. This movie, a slasher, holiday slashers were always a popular thing. There's Muffy, who's a rich girl who throws a party on this new house that she just got from her parents. A cool house on an island, a very Agatha Christie style whodunit mystery. But you'll start to notice throughout the movie, the kills aren't shown super much, and there's more people finding dead bodies than actually shots of them getting killed. So a slasher movie without really cool kill sequences, and of course, at the end of the movie, you find out why, and that's the fact that this was all a prank. It is April Fool's Day after all, but, I mean, to go a whole movie and to not have a real killer, and to just have it be, oh, hey, this was all a prank, it really, it feels like it, I was invested in a slasher movie, and ultimately there's nothing. There's not even a real villain of any kind. It was just, oh hey, we went to an island beach and there was a prank. To be honest, the first time I saw this, I was super ticked when I got to the ending, and then I rewatched it just this year for April Fool's Day, and I was like, maybe it'll get better with time. Nah, I was still upset by it. You know, it leaves you feeling salty after the movie. It really just makes you go, okay, what was the point? And looking back on it, that explains why there was no cool kills in this movie, because they couldn't do cool kills because it was all a prank, and that kind of bugged me. Now, there is a remake to this movie, and they do a clever twist on that ending. So if you didn't like this movie's ending, I would still say check out the remake of April Fool's Day. It's very different. But yeah, just the fact that it was all for a joke, and this ruined the movie's ability to have cool kills in it. I really didn't like that twist. And again, I know there's some people that do, but I wasn't a big fan. Up next, another one. Oh man, this one got me upset. The Houses October Built Part 2. The first one is really classic. It was a found footage horror movie where most of it was real. They go into haunted houses and they, scream at the haunted house stuff, and those are all real haunted houses, and you get real stories from the people in the haunted houses. And, up until the part with the Blue Skeleton Group, which is a mysterious group of people who have a haunted house that goes way too far, up until that, everything in the movie was really real. So I really liked part 1, and I was super excited to get to part 2. And part 2, they were able to do the whole bigger and better thing because they had notoriety. The film crew was able to get bigger and better locations, and there's some pretty cool stuff in here. Some cool, bigger haunted houses, and it's really good up until the end. There's a big twist. They finally meet the Blue Skeletons and they find out something about them. The first twist is that during the first movie, a few of the guys in the crew were actually approached by the Blue Skeletons, and they were won over, and for the last half of the first movie and all of this movie, they were actually working with them. That's fine. I don't mind that twist. That's actually kind of clever. But what I absolutely hate about this is it's revealed that the Blue Skeletons just wanted notoriety and internet fame. At the end, it's like, oh yeah, we're doing this because now we're gonna get popular on the internet. I'm like, that's the dumbest reason. I absolutely hated the Blue Skeletons' motivation. Just, hey, now we're gonna be popular. It's so stupid, and I'm hoping, because they say that it's that they want to do, I think, 1 or 2 more. I'm hoping they rewrite that or something. Just the idea that it was all for internet fame is dumb, and I'm hoping that in part 3 they're like, well, it wasn't really. I'm hoping they do that. I don't know, but yeah, that did kind of bug me. Moving right along, breaking out the Friday the 13th collection. And if you guys are Friday the 13th fans, wild guess as to which one I'm going to be looking at. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. So in Part 4, quite famously, they thought it would be the end of the series. Jason Voorhees dies. Now, you have the final chapter. What do you do after that? You do The New Beginning. There is a different killer at Camp Crystal Lake. Okay, that's a good idea. Who's the killer? You think it would be Tommy Jarvis. That's who they set up at the end of Part 4 to be the next killer. But it's not. Tommy is in the movie, and you think, okay, maybe it's going to be him. He's with a bunch of other kids, and a new Jason shows up. Now, it's quite similar to the old Jason, and a lot of people were hoping that they would do something different with the design, or do something different with how he kills people. It's pretty much the same old Jason, but this time with blue markings on his mask. But then, when it's revealed who he is, it's just a random paramedic character. It's literally a character I cannot care about. Who is this guy? Well, he has a good motivation when you look back. His son was accidentally killed and he's blaming these teens for it. But, maybe have a little more setup. Granted, in the first movie, the killer didn't have a whole lot of setup, but there wasn't as much of build-up. In the first movie, there wasn't 4 movies worth of this iconic killer and then, okay, who's going to inherit the new mantle? It's just a random paramedic. That could have been better, and if they had just went ahead and made it Tommy, that would have been what the whole thing was leading for there. The kid who kills Jason becomes Jason. That's what it should have been, but no, it's random paramedic, and of course the end of the movie hints that Tommy might become Jason in part 6. I don't know why they didn't just do it in part 5, but it hints that that might happen in part 6, which, as we know, didn't happen either. But then we got Wacky and Crazy Part 6, so I don't mind there. The last movie, now this one is an interesting case, because it's not really the writer or director's decision. This is City of the Living Dead, and this movie's ending is actually quite an oddball. You see, there was an evil priest who opened the gates of hell, and the 2 main characters go into this labyrinthian tomb to stop it and, shut up all the zombies. Now, they exit the tomb, and outside the tomb, there's a bunch of policemen and a little boy character who had been in the movie before. The little boy smiles and runs towards them, and they look at him and suddenly scream for who knows what reason. Why are they afraid of the little boy running towards them? Well, the movie ends with the little boy looking at them, and then the film just cracks. Like, the film has this animated crack mark and breaks into pieces. Why were they scared of the little boy? What was the reveal? Well, we don't know. Allegedly, with this movie, the final bit of footage, the negatives, were supposedly accidentally destroyed. There's always the rumor that the editor spilled coffee on them or something. So yeah, the final scenes of this movie were accidentally destroyed, and they didn't have time or money to reshoot them. So yeah, just break the film, have an animated crack show up. That was the best they could do with the time and the money they had, and hey, at least have something. But yeah, it was just kind of weird. They exit the tomb, the kid runs at him, they scream, and that will forever be a mystery to fans of Italian horror. Why exactly did they scream? Was there something behind the little boy? Did they recognize something? What was about to happen? We don't know, and that's, no fault of the directors, no fault of the writers. It's just the film was lost, and they ended it the best that they could. So, no fault on them, but it's still, what was the ending supposed to be? It's a great horror movie mystery. So yeah, I try to order them and, order from, most upsetting to least. Like I said, City of the Living Dead's really more just a curiosity. But man, The Mist, April Fool's Day, and Houses October Built Part 2, oh, those were ones that really got to me. Anyway, I'd love to hear your opinions about these down in the comments below. What do you think about them? And to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You are really helping the channel out. I'll put a relevant playlist in the bottom here. If you guys want to see more, you can see more there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day.